Hey, what's going on, y'all? This video, I'll be kickstarting a series that I'm calling Draw with Afro, where I'm essentially going to start off with how I approach character design. Before we get started, I figured it's worth mentioning that I use Clip Studio Paint for all my animations and drawings here on the channel. However, I'm not going to be going into specific brushes or tools or setup, none of that. For this video, we'll just be focusing on creating an effective character design for 2D animation. From here, I'm breaking down my process into 5 parts. Number 1. Character building blocks. This part of the process is very bare bones. A character building block is what the general shape of your character's silhouette will look like. When coming up with the shape for your character, always think about the main theme or tone you are going for. By this, I'm simply referring to their appearance and what it says to your audience on a first impression basis. In my 3 examples here, I went with the following tones: laid back and cool, short and stout, tall and boastful. Choose 1 or 2 words that will define your character's main tone and you will have a much simpler time getting your design started. Number 2, anatomical placement. When it comes to anatomy, especially as a beginner, I recommend practicing 30-second to 1-minute figure practice of people in different poses. Get some reference off Google, Pinterest, Reddit, your camera roll, whatever you want. Condition yourself to get comfortable drawing the general shape of different poses in a short amount of time. While sketching, think about a pose you'd want your character in. Have the pose of your character align with the theme you assigned them from step 1. If your character building block is more uniform, give them a simple pose. And if it's more exaggerated, give them an exaggerated pose. For my examples here on screen, I chose to use more uniform building blocks to make the process easier for myself. And don't be afraid to make changes to your poses either. The first 3 steps are simply the drafting steps. Nothing is set in stone here. Number 3. Defining features. This is when you want to start thinking about setting, the time and place of your character's environment. Do you want to go for a prehistoric adventure or go for a futuristic apocalypse? Ask yourself, what is the general time zone of your character's environment? Be mindful of the role they play in your story when choosing their clothes, hairstyle, and accessories. Don't go too overboard with these details or they can potentially distract from the main theme of your character's personality. The more detail you try to add to your character design before animating, well, you'll be looking like... So don't do that to yourself. Keep it simple and stay true to your character's theme. Number 4. Finalizing details. Once you've decided on your character's appearance, it's time for the cleanup lines. Don't concern yourself too much with matching the sketch lines of the previous steps. Only use them to guide yourself throughout the process. Think about the texture of your character's clothes and accessories. For example, are they wearing silk or cotton? Silk is a soft material that tends to fit loosely on the body, whereas cotton is a more rough material that tends to be more snug on the body. Keep this in mind for accessories as well. Number 5. Choosing color scheme. The final step, making a color scheme or palette for your character. I'm no color theory expert, so I'm not going too in-depth into that. Just as I said for the prior 3 steps, keep in mind the theme you set for your character's personality. The more calm they are, it's typically better to go with a more cool tone or lower saturated color scheme such as blue. The more intense or passionate your character is, try a warm tone or saturated color scheme such as red. Of course, you're free to use more than one hue for your character design, but the focus of your palette should be on your character's defining features from step number 3. As you can see, I came up with 3 characters for this video. A young rebel designed with a traffic light theme. I made his hoodie in the shade of purple to complement the yellow J on his back, which stands for Jaywalker. Next, a short older man who's monopolized a lot of property. I made a building shape for his top hat to signify his wealth and status. Then, I made a tall brazen lady who flaunts her jewelry at every opportunity. As you can see, I only chose to color the exotic feather attached to her hat, as well as the jewelry she is wearing to focus on that part of her design. So with that, I hope this video was insightful and helps make your art journey a bit more manageable. I will be putting a poll up on the channel for y'all to vote on the next Draw with Afro. I will get to each one in order of greatest to least amount of votes. With that said, leave a like, subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.